And here we go. Welcome in the inaugural edition of the TH and TC show. I'm TH.
I am TC.
This is our show.
And here we go, baby. Here
Can't
we
think
go.
of a better introduction than that. People may not know who we are. Tell them who we are, TC.
I'm TC, known as AKA the real Tyler.
Aren't I older than you though?
Yeah, you're older than me, but you ain't as pretty as me, baby. You know.
Yeah, but I'm the OG. I came first.
It was just you're the OTCH.
OGTH. Yes.
But see, it sounds better the OGTC, baby. That sounds so much better.
No, just because it rhymes, it don't work.
It's just because it rhymes.
No,
Man,
it doesn't.
I'll tell you right now, if it rhymes, then it's a dime. You know what I mean?
So yeah, you got me there. Well, we've known each other for what, like 15 years now?
15 years.
It's crazy. Newton High School, class of 2014, represent.
Go Rams.
Or, well, we were class of 2015, but...
All right, you got to put that in there. Got to do all that.
I just want people to know what they're working with.
Yeah.
Anyways, we both were wrestlers way back in the day, all the way back to the middle school days. And we were probably one of the few kids on the team that actually still liked professional wrestling despite doing amateur wrestling. I don't know about you. Did you keep that to yourself, or were you open about it?
It was kind of obvious trying to get people Batista bombs, so it's kind of obvious professional wrestling.
I used to do the Anaconda Vice on people, which was actually pretty effective, to be honest with you. You can't get out of that.
You can't. It's impossible.
No, and I remember I did the sharpshooter on someone sometimes, just messing around, not an actual match. But one of my
crossface.
I hit so many people with the cross. All right, so story time, right? I was wrestling. I think this was in 10th grade. We had a tournament at Alcovey, and I don't remember where this dude was from, but I just kept cross-facing him left and right, left and right, left and right. And we it was because when you're in resetting and top, when it gets down and you reset, and the ref blew the whistle, and he posts up, right? And I'm not kidding, he's up like this, and he looks back at me and says, cross face me again and see what happens. So I thought to myself, I was like, okay. So I did it again, harder, and I ended up winning the match.
That's right.
And when we go back to the middle to shake hands, he's just but he never said anything. And I was like,
you got beat.
He got beat. And I remember he went back and sat in the stands and was just staring at me, and I just kept walking past him to mess with him. And he never did anything. I was like, you said cross face you and see what happens. I did. Nothing happened.
You know what it's called? That's called being a thug.
That's right.
THUG, baby.
I also when in wrestling, I hated shooting on people. I did not like neutral offense. I was all about wrestling on the mat, right? So I was
top or bottom.
Always on top.
It is.
I would let people take me down, right? Just because I don't want to be standing up. Let's get on the mat. That's where I'm really good. And so people would shoot in on me, and I would always, if they would shoot in on me to my side, I would clamp their face with my elbow and do a DDT down into the mat, because I would throw myself backwards.
Yeah.
And the ref never caught it. So, it's all legal, right?
You could have rolled with him from the guillotine.
See, I never perfected the guillotine.
Man.
I know that was one of they taught you some weird stuff over there at Cousins.
They did. Well, I was big, so all we would do just slap each other.
Speaking of which, his name, dang it, last name Lumpkin. What was his first name? He was a year older than us.
Lumpkin.
Yeah.
Andrew?
I don't think it was Andrew. I don't remember his name. Anyway, he wrestled at Cousins, and we used to do those joint practices at Eastside during the summer or whatever. And this dude never shut up about the cement mixer. I don't even know what the submit mixer is, but it was apparently his favorite move because he never stopped talking about it.
Was it a short white kid?
Yes.
Had like had the great value mom cut.
I think so. That sounds right.
I think you know what you're talking about.
But I didn't even know what the submit mixer was, but he always talked about it. And I was like, is that the only thing they show you at Cousins?
That and the Cleary roll. That one.
What's the Cleary roll?
So you're on bottom, right?
Okay.
You get matched up. You take their hand, you put it on your belly. As soon as they tap you 3 times,
Yeah.
you grab the hand real quick, you momentum, take your front shoulder down the mat, flip your legs over, and toss up.
That's a Granby roll.
They called it the Cleary roll, baby, because that's all I could do.
You were a heavyweight and you did that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Otis.
Hey, man, look. You gotta roll with the punches and roll with the water, baby.
See, now I remember watching you wrestle. I never remember seeing you do that.
Well, it was 8th grade.
Yeah, because that is something. Okay, I would remember it if I saw a heavyweight doing that.
No, brother. It was 8th grade before I got kicked off the team because of my grades.
Okay.
It was I won a couple of matches. I had a losing record.
Okay.
Because I was not good at wrestling. I was good at standing up with them.
Yeah.
But I had no technique because all I did in wrestling was run to make weight.
Yeah.
I was really fat as a 7th grader. I was 305 pounds in 7th grade.
Wasn't the limit like 285?
265. No. They wanted me to be the heavyweight, not the super heavyweight.
Okay.
They wanted me
that's right. I
265.
forgot there was two.
Yeah, they wanted me to do the 265 because I had more muscle mass than 265. So we wrestled that one.
Who was wrestling heavier than you?
Coach Andrews. Coach. He slung my big ass around a million times, man. He used to lock up with me. I could feel his bicep just pulsating on me. And I'll go, I'm a kid, right? Like, I don't know what I'm doing. And he would throw my big ass across the room.
It's like, bro, I'm 12.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He didn't give a shit. He didn't care at all, man. I remember one time we locked up with him because no one wanted to wrestle me.
Yeah.
And which is understandable. If I fall on their chest, I'm going to kill a kid. You know what I'm saying? I get that 100%.
Yeah.
Well, he locks up with me. And I go, I'm scared. I told him flat out, I'm scared of you, sir. I don't want no problems. He goes, just fall and you ain't nothing to worry about. And I said, well, yes, sir. So he locked it. I fell to the ground real quick. But he hurt me, boy. He get on me.
So clearly we were obviously scholastic wrestlers back in the day, but we were probably one of the few people on the team that still watched professional wrestling because that was kind of the age where like you get to where everybody like starts hating professional wrestling because you still watch that stuff. That's for kids, and I'm like, shut up.
One word: divas.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, because that was late
Michelle
2000s.
McCool, Layla, the Bella Twins, the beginning.
Okay, I don't like the Bella Twins.
They're just hot. I'm like,
but that's besides the point. I don't think they should be in the Hall of Fame. I don't think they did anything remarkable. They sucked at wrestling.
Well, they dated Brian. They dated Daniel Bryan back then, and John Cena. So that's why John Laurinaitis. That was their father-in-law.
That's why they're relevant. That's why they had that stupid TV show. But like, they never did. They get treated like these like pioneers of women's wrestling. I'm like, they sucked.
Well, behind the scenes,
I couldn't stand to watch any of their matches.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Who besides girls? Who genuinely watched the women's match before the horsewomen? Well, and the Michelle McCool.
Okay. Trish and Mickey back in the day, good matches.
Bro, come on.
WrestleMania 22.
What happened in that match? What's the big thing of that match?
Here's the thing. I have the DVD version that edited that part out, and it's still a good match.
Let's skip that one part. Now, Mickey James and TNA, Impact Wrestling, TNA now. She was great wrestler. I mean, but if you look at a product standpoint, there's no money behind women's wrestling until 2014.
Well, yeah, because
And besides TNA's
until
knockouts.
Stephanie McMahon invented women's wrestling, right?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. But again, though, Stephanie wasn't a bad wrestler in the '90s, like '98, 2000, when they're doing that. What was it? The McMahon and
The
the
McMahon
Hemsley
in every
era.
corner at WrestleMania 2000.
Yeah, I mean Shane took a lot of damage too, though.
She did, or he did. Stephanie famously lost a street fight to her dad. I
Yeah,
want to say it's Unforgiven 2003, and he just like beat
maybe.
the crap out of her. It's like very weird to look back on now.
Well, if you look at Vince now, I mean,
Yeah, well, we're not
that's.
looking at Vince now.
You see his mustache he has now? He dyed his hair.
He looks like an
A
old
Bond
timey
villain.
villain from like a
Yeah.
silent movie.
Oh yeah. I
Like
mean,
he just got done tying a girl to the railroad tracks.
and he's a little bag of money in the back of him running away.
Exactly. Like you know what? I was thinking about this the other day. Like, at what point, and this is putting aside all the terrible stuff that's come out about what he's done outside of, the wrestling ring. Like, at what point did Vince McMahon lose touch with wrestling? Like, because the last couple of years of him in charge, it was just like crap after crap after crap.
I think he lost touch. The 1 year I remember wrestling, I quit watching. 2012.
2012 was okay. It wasn't so.
In a booking standpoint, take away the WrestleMania matches. Take away that. What do you have?
Yeah, from a booking standpoint, which Punk and Jericho should have main evented WrestleMania, but
that's what I'm saying. Like, if it was a Rock and Cena.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good point. I don't think I watched it all in like 2010, and I know, kind of looking back, that was a pretty rough year too. Outside of, like, obviously Shawn Michaels and Undertaker WrestleMania.
Oh, 100%, fantastic. But that wasn't Vince's call.
No, it wasn't.
They booked that match, and I think it was with Bruce Pritchard, either him or it was one of the Fabulous Freebirds. I forget who it is.
Michael P. Hayes.
Michael P. Hayes.
Yeah.
But that was all their standpoint. That wasn't a Vince call. I mean, Vince said, if anything, the day that Undertaker lost at WrestleMania was when WrestleMania died.
Yeah.
And then now, since the new era, I mean, 2018 WrestleMania is pretty good. But for those couple of years there, I mean, Roman, that's it. All you have is Roman. Besides the cash in against him and Brock.
Well, and that was the period of time where, like, they were forcing Roman Reigns, and it wasn't working because, look, I love the Tribal Chief character. I think he is knocking it out of the park with that. But it took them 6 years to find a character, because, like, the big dog thing, nobody liked it. He wasn't comfortable with it, and it wasn't working. But they kept, like, force feeding it down our throats. Like, no, you're gonna love this. No, here's another main event with him and Brock Lesnar. Like, we don't want this. Stop.
He was still Shield Roman. There was no development. I mean, they had him wear contacts, for God's sake.
That is a really good point, because Dean Ambrose became Lunatic Fringe, and the results varied on that a little bit. I think he's a lot better as John Moxley outside of WWE. Yeah. Seth Rollins became the architect, eventually the Messiah. Now he's Seth freaking Rollins. Like, he's reinvented himself several times, but what he did right after the Shield worked. It's like Roman Reigns was like the dude in high school that couldn't let go of his glory days. Yeah. So he's still wearing the Letterman jacket everywhere. Like, that's what the Shield gear was, his Letterman jacket. And everybody's like, loser, move on. And he's like, no, I'm the big dog. I'm like, nobody cares.
But that wasn't his call either. That was a Vince call.
Well, like, yeah, I get that, but I'm just saying
they wanted to be John Cena. When he fought John Cena at SummerSlam, and John Cena said that he was a basically a great value bootleg John Cena,
right? Which
is true. That's what he was. And then once he had, God rest his soul, he had leukemia. He left for those I guess a year and a half.
So I think he came back right before COVID, and then when COVID hit, he left again just for health, and then he came back and essentially became the Tribal Chief. And we're now going almost 4 years, and, like, again, I mean, he's going to go down as one of the best because of that character.
But the thing is though, he's so protected.
He is.
I mean, You look at Seth Rollins; he's at his injury right now with his knee, right?
Yeah.
But how many house shows has Roman Reigns defended that Universal title in the last 3 years of his title?
No, hey, look, I'm ready for him to lose the title.
But it's just so undermined because Cody's going to win it.
Okay,
all that.
I'm really glad you brought this up because I wanted to talk about this. So let's go back to WrestleMania last year in Los Angeles, where it was the full year of Cody Rhodes being back in WWE. He called a shot, went out there, won the Royal Rumble, which I do have a problem that he came back before that Rumble instead of actually coming out at 30 and being a surprise. Like, it kind of killed the fun. Like, we know he's going to be in it, and of course he's going to win it. But regardless, wins the Rumble. Hey, I'm going to go finish my story at WrestleMania. It doesn't happen, right? And we're all like, why the hell didn't this happen? It makes perfect sense. I feel like now that after he's won the Rumble again just the other day, and we're on the track for WrestleMania 40, that move makes a little more sense given the fact that now we go into WrestleMania 40 and we don't know for sure. You have that little bit of doubt in your mind, like maybe they'll keep it on. Like, I think Cody's going to win it and finish the story, but maybe they'll keep it on Roman, which, like, from a storytelling standpoint, does work.
There is so many telltale signs of this same storyline happening from 50-something years ago. The AWA Dusty Rhodes. I think it's AWA, either AWA or not NWA or WCW.
Mm-hmm.
Dusty Rhodes, the hard time, baby, hard time. Dusty Rhodes. Okay,
right.
And then John Cena with after he fought The Rock at WrestleMania when he had that whole year. I mean, with Brock, he lost so many matches. He couldn't catch a break. He couldn't get his footing going.
Right.
The reason why I think that Cody Rhodes is by far the best. I was a Cody Rhodes fan back in 2007. No, 2008. 2008.
Legacy, man.
Legacy, 100%. Even when he was a hardcore Holly, like
that was very brief, but yes.
He was tag team champion. He never lost the title.
That's right.
The only wrestler, I think, in history to lose a title and then still retain a title on the same exact night.
Yeah, I think so.
Because it was Ted DiBiase had a secret opponent, had a secret partner, and it turned out to be Cody Rhodes.
Yes.
And Cody Rhodes gave Alabama Slam to Hardcore Holly.
Mm-hmm.
And then he tagged in Ted DiBiase. DiBiase got on top of him. 1, 2, 3. New tag team champions. And retained tag team champion.
Okay, maybe you could technically count Roderick Strong when he turned on Pete Dunne at.
But he wasn't the tag team champion.
That was the Dusty Cup. That's right.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. But he's the only person that was the champion and then turned on his tag team partner and still remained champion. I think probably in all, but not by. WCW probably did it a bunch of times.
There is a chance that's happened before, but I can't think of it.
I think it's the only time. I'm pretty, unless it was like back in like this, like the WWF days.
Yeah. Anyways, back to finishing the story.
I think that honestly, it's going to be Cody's year. I think that Cody Rhodes he's the new John Cena. I mean, I know it's terrible to say, but like you look at his stint AEW.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone hated him. Everyone. After he became a TNT champion, he shot himself in the foot, but not being the world champion. Because if anything, Cody Rhodes should have been the world champion of AEW. He should have beat Jericho for the title because then they were already having problems with the Elite.
And I think I understand what they were trying to do right from the jump at AEW by saying, oh, if whatever the stipulation was where he loses and can't challenge for the AEW championship, because I guess he didn't want to seem like, oh, this is Cody's company basically, and he's going to go out there and be the champion. Like, I really think they pigeonholed themselves by doing that, because you get down the road and it's like, oh, well, he actually probably would benefit from being champion.
But the thing is, with that same logic, is you have the Young Bucks being the World Tag Team Champions.
Yeah.
I mean, after Cowboy, Adam Page, and Kenny Omega, they beat them for the World Tag Team Champions.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that it's just the matter of, yes, they are executives, and yes, that they are part of the management there, but they're also wrestlers.
Yeah.
And you want the best wrestlers for your product. It doesn't matter if they're execs or if they're. I mean, look at Hulk Hogan. Hogan had a freaking throat hold on WCW, but the NWO was the best thing about WCW.
That's right.
Like, so, I mean, you look at Austin when he turned on The Rock and joined Vince McMahon. Like, he turned heel. which was the best thing for him. Cody Rhodes should have been a heel in AEW. He should have been. He would have been the biggest heel in the business.
He would have been, but at the same time, like, he is not the super duper megastar that he is without going back to WWE, though. Like, he's a big deal within the wrestling community, obviously, but like that crossover appeal that he now has going back home to WWE, he wouldn't have had that if he stayed in AEW.
I agree 100%. But the thing is that you look at Cody's rap sheet now. He's when he left WWE, he was a Ring of Honor World Champion. He was the WCPW World Heavyweight Champion. He was the Impact. I think it was the Global. He wasn't the World Champion. It was something else. Then he became the NWA World Heavyweight Champion.
Yep.
That's 3 world titles since leaving WWE. He proven himself.
Nice V1 there, by the way.
Yeah, well, that's V1. But I'm just saying, like, all of the ideas and all of his accomplishments. When he came to WWE, they didn't tell him about him being the NWA champion. That would have been the perfect setup for when he fought Roman at WrestleMania, because they could have showed Dusty with the NWA World Heavyweight Championship and then showed Cody with the NWA World Championship. They can say Cody has won every world title that Dusty won, except the WCW World Heavyweight Championship, which is
you're making a good point. Let me add this. Let me add this here. A year ago, WrestleMania 39, Vince still had his paw prints all over what was going on. He would never have acknowledged another championship outside of WWE. We're in a different era now where, I mean, we just had freaking the Impact Wrestling, Jordan Grace in the Royal Rumble, which I know Mickey James did a couple years ago, but
with the world title.
So, like, they are more apt at mentioning those kind of things now. If we were doing the first build-up this time around, certainly. But again, Vince would have never let something like that happen a year ago. I get what you're saying, but I don't think it could have been possible.
But the thing is that the WWE Network owns the NWA's like whole history book.
Yeah, but like the title is not under their control anymore, though.
I agree. So, I mean, they have two they've the best NWA World Champion in the last 10 years with Nick Aldis working for WWE.
Yeah,
which I think is a waste having him as a general manager.
Here's the thing. I think he's going to jump into the ring at some point soon.
100%.
He can still do it. Obviously, I think it's he's a good general manager, by the way. Like
100%.
I love the fact. And look, we could sit here all day and talk about how much better things are now that Triple H took over. But like the fact that he's not a bumbling idiot, which they've done a whole lot better with Adam Pearce too, where he's not just like this buffoon who just lets things happen. Like they are actually like authority figures now, which makes a lot of sense. Like all this is like no crap, like very straightforward and to the point, and somebody's going to push his buttons enough to like, hey, well, I'm going to put the boots back on and go back in the ring. I don't know who that is, but I'm excited when it happens.
It reminds me a lot of when Booker T first became general manager of SmackDown. I think that because even with that whole scenario, that was again with Cody Rhodes. He got Booker T back in the ring to wrestle him, even though he was not act talent. But I'm just saying that we need more than just like I like the authority of the general manager idea. I like the idea of having two. But the thing is that when you're fighting with your brand, then we all know what the real prize of WWE is. The World Heavyweight Championship is a great title. It's a great thing to have. It's a working man title, 100%.
Right.
But at the end of the day, the title you want to be the man, to be the tribal chief, is that WWE Undisputed Championship.
Yep.
And they don't get it either. Why does it they keep going? One day they're saying the WWE Undisputed Championship, and then the next week they're saying the WWE Championship. How can it be undisputed when there's a World Heavyweight Championship on Raw?
Are you telling me that the WWE has a continuity issue? Like this is the first time it's ever happened?
I'm just saying, man. But now with Triple H era, I feel like the writers would have better ideas, like saying, "Hey, we can't call it this."
So let's think about this. In like the past, I'll even expand it out to the past 20 years. How many times have we unified a title and then had to create another world title, and then unified the title, had to create another world? It just keeps happening like every 5 years anyway.
Well, in my personal opinion, the best title that WWE ever had was the let me just get my little prop out here.
Oh, you've got them ready to go.
I got them, dude. I had them ready to go for you. The greatest the greatest title that WWE ever had was the World Heavyweight Championship.
I
This
agree.
looks like a championship.
The big gold belt is the most beautiful wrestling championship to have ever existed, and it did not look better on anyone than when Batista had it.
Oh, Taker had a good one. Edge by far. I think Batista was the best champion.
Undertaker, Edge, 1, 2, 3.
Ooh. How long are we going? Give me a
So,
time span.
like
3 years?
that is to me, and Batista's number one because like that is the most pure wrestling nostalgia for me is Batista because he was like my first true favorite wrestler. And like him with the world championship, like that was little kid me was all over that.
Yeah. I think honestly, if you're going to go, if you got to do a top five of the greatest WWE World Heavyweight Champions.
Okay,
and you can't. That takes Dusty Rhodes. That takes Ric Flair. All that out of it.
All right, we take those out of it. Like, and we're talking about the big gold belt.
Top big gold. Top
big
five.
Gold belt.
From Raw of 2004 to
it was 2002 when it got reintroduced.
I thought it was you're right. It is 02. You're right. You're right.
Because they had
WCW. That's WCW World Championship. That's not.
No. It went away in 2001 after the buyout, and then you only had the one WWE champion, the Undisputed Championship, which, by the way, very underrated belt design before they went to the spinner.
The Undisputed title, yeah.
Undisputed title, very, very underrated.
Yeah.
And then in 2002, they reintroduced the World Heavyweight Championship and just handed it to Triple H because,
you're missing a key. That was the beginning of the WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
Yes, that's what I mean.
The Invasion had the WCW World title because that's when Jericho beat Austin and Rock on the same night.
And yes, that became the Undisputed Championship in WWE. Yep. So they rebirthed the World Heavyweight Championship in 2002 and just handed it to Triple H. So that's what I'm going off of. Yeah. When he got
you know why that was, right? You know why that was?
Well, I mean,
because when he lost to Brock and Brock went to SmackDown with Stephanie McMahon, Raw needed the title.
Exactly. Which, again, we run into this problem constantly. Like, oh, now the show doesn't have a champion. Let's go create another one. But, like, so I'm going from 2002 when Triple H was awarded the title till the big gold belt would have gone away with the it would have been 2014 with Bryan having both belts.
Yeah.
Because it went away after that, I believe. Yeah, I think that's right.
Okay, so I'll tell you what, we'll do 2 lists. We'll do a top 5 all time and a top 5 underrated.
Okay. So top 5 all time. I mean, Ric Flair's got to be on there, obviously. Well,
you can't do him because he was never a WWE World Heavyweight.
But I thought you were talking about all time, just in general, of the big gold belt.
No. Okay. That would not have anyone in the last 10 years on it.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine. So let's go first with the list of top 5 big gold belt from 2002 until 2014.
All right, go ahead.
So you start with your 1.
Okay. My number 5. Start number 5 because you got to leave number 1 for best.
That's fine. Number 5.
Number 5, the greatest world champions.
Just the big gold belt.
I'm gonna say Cena.
Okay. Now here's the weird thing about that. Cena in the big gold belt. I know he held it, but it just feels weird talking about because he was always tied to the WWE Championship.
I agree, but when Cena had the big gold belt, it looked like a real championship. It looked like something that he could. Matter of it was a year and a half to 2 weeks, and it would still be counted as a real world championship. The match he had with Big Show and Edge is why I say that he's one of the greatest because John Cena's work rate when he had the big gold title was some of the best work he did, besides the U.S. Open Challenge he did, and in the 2006 when he faced an RVD, Edge, and all that.
So that was number 5. That was number 5 for you then, John Cena.
No, John Cena.
Okay. I'm gonna go Randy Orton.
What?
At number 5, yes, Randy Orton.
How?
For one, youngest world champion back in 2004.
Yeah.
Held the title several different times. He should have won it at WrestleMania 25.
He should have.
That match shouldn't have closed out the WrestleMania either, because how do you follow Undertaker and Shawn Michaels? But that's a different story for a different day. So Randy Orton's in my number 5. For that, again, we're talking big gold belt, top 5 wears of the big gold belt from its inception in 2002 to when it got merged in 2014.
Okay.
So Randy Orton's my number 5. Who's your number 4?
Randy Orton.
Okay, that's fair. You know what? I'm going to alter my list from earlier. I'm going to put Edge at number 4 for me.
Okay.
Okay. Now who's your number 3?
Well, you gotta tell me why Edge is your number 3.
What's
number
that?
4. You gotta say why Edge is your number 4.
Well, I associate him, and I mean he did a lot between both belts, the big gold belt and the WWE Championship, but and maybe this is nostalgia with his last championship run coming with the belt in 2011. And after coming back to the Royal Rumble, the whole story, great story. You know what I mean? I associate that with the end of his first run.
I'll give my argument later on the list. I'll give it later on the list.
Okay. So number 3 for you.
Number 3 for me, I'm gonna say Batista.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, we can't have this list without Triple H, right?
True.
I mean, he had a stranglehold on that thing for the first 3 years it existed.
Yeah.
So Triple H for me at number 3.
But he was the best wrestler in WWE. Well, probably the best wrestler, but the best character in WWE.
Oh, I mean, without a doubt. Did he have some backstage influence? Sure, but still.
He's banging the daughter. He's banging the boss's banging the boss's daughter.
Not going to go there, but we all know what happens behind the scenes. All right, so number 2 for you.
Number 2 for me would probably be just out of pure nostalgia. It's probably going to be the Undertaker.
Okay, Undertaker's also going to be my number 2. Because
we agree.
So the Undertaker last held the WWE Championship in 2003.
Was it 4? I thought it was 4 because he was the American Badass.
No, so American Badass died at Survivor Series 03.
That's right, against Kane. That's right.
Yeah. So he had held the WWE Championship earlier in that year with the very underrated, undisputed belt. After that, how ridiculous would he have looked with the spinner belt? Let's be honest here.
True, but I mean that's why Taker and his entrance alone with that world title when the hat came off, took the knee with the title after beating somebody.
Again, and the big gold belt, it looked perfect. It looked great. It looked amazing on him. So that's both of our number 2 is the Undertaker.
Yep.
Who's your number 1?
Edge.
Okay, that's fine.
Because when I think of the world title, I think of the Rated R superstar, Mr. SmackDown himself, Edge. I mean, he when he retired the world champion against Alberto Del Rio.
Yeah, and he's in my top 5. I'm not excluding
I'm not just saying he's been a little higher.
See, and again, this is personal. For me, Batista and the big gold belt is a match made in heaven. They look perfect together.
I still remember when was it 2005 when he did the.
So that was after he won the Rumble, that infamous Rumble. And remember, Triple H was like, making it seem like JBL was trying to like sabotage him so he'd go to SmackDown and pursue the WWE Championship.
Oh yeah.
But like Batista's like around the corner hearing their plans.
Yeah.
And like I still go back and watch that segment of him doing the thumbs down randomly because it's so good.
Still
like in terms of road to WrestleMania stories, that legitimately has got to be one of the better ones, right?
100%. But look who they had doing it though. You had the brain of Ric Flair, the brain of Triple H. But it's fantastic. I'm not arguing. It's fantastic.
It's fantastic, and it's the classic story of like, because if you go back and watch like even like the Raws leading up to that Royal Rumble, Batista was getting cheered. Like people were on his side. Like you knew that turn was going to come, and when it did, you knew it was going to be a big pop. And like they did so perfect with that.
It was by far probably one of like that's probably got me hooked on wrestling. Either that or when I saw in 2001 the SmackDown with Hulk Hogan was Mr. America.
Oh my god!
And they did the little lie detector. I remember that.
No. Hey, the lie detector said that was not Hulk Hogan.
That's true. But what blew my mind about that was he picked the mask up and then put it back down.
Yes.
Like that blows the whole segment. That blows the whole thing.
You know what? Wrestling's all about suspending disbelief, so we'll allow it.
Okay, speaking of disbelief, think of the reason I say Edge is my number one is because remember it was WrestleMania, was it 24? Edge against The Undertaker for the World Heavyweight Championship, and Edge lost because of the Hell Gates.
That is correct, yes.
That was by far my favorite Edge match, besides the TLC matches against Cena.
Yeah.
But for the world title, that was Edge's very best match.
I think that's actually his favorite match, if I remember correctly.
It's so maniacal. It's so Edge.
Yeah.
The Ultimate Opportunist, like it's an amazing clash of styles. You had the Bruiser and the submission artist as the Undertaker, which is disgusting me saying that out loud.
Sure.
But I mean, you can't argue with it. And that was prime Undertaker. That was the Undertaker.
It was. No, I mean, like, and that is something, this can be kind of our last thing as we're getting up on 40 minutes here, but that to me is something that I'm glad the Undertaker's still involved in wrestling, but the fact that he's retired now, he's in the Hall of Fame, like the fact that we don't get like, okay, sure, they can hit the gong now, but it doesn't mean the same thing that it used to. You know what I mean? Like you're not going to have the lights come back on and he's got somebody in like a chokehold or, have a bunch of guys laid out in the ring. Like that is something that I legitimately miss about wrestling is knowing if the lights go out and the gong hits, like, oh crap, something's about to go down. Like we're not going to have that anymore, unfortunately.
And the sad part about it is when Bray Wyatt passed, he was on the verge of being the first Bray Wyatt. I'm not even saying the next Undertaker.
Yeah,
he was going to be the man. Probably phenom is such a relative word, but he was going to become the phenom of the 2020s.
Yeah, well, and when Bray Wyatt came in as Bray Wyatt in 2013-ish, I guess, with the Wyatt family and was doing, the OG Bray Wyatt, that's what everybody built that up to be is like, oh, this is the new supernatural freaky character that's eventually going to take over for the Undertaker. And it wasn't until he got to, and we didn't, the sad part is we didn't even get to see the full fleshed out version of whatever this last run was going to be because he went away because he was sick and everything before he passed away. Like, we were really on the doorstep of that, like taking off into whatever it was going to be and really being that, like the switch between being a normal person and being whatever this monster is going to be. And unfortunately that's not going to happen now.
No, it's sad, but
man,
I think he'll go in the Hall of Fame this year. I think he'll be, they'll put him through.
I mean, one of the most brilliant minds in wrestling. Like, 100%. And I'm not just saying that because he just passed away. Like the way his mind worked was truly one of a kind. And I wish we could have seen whatever this last thing was going to be come to fruition.
But I cannot wait for the pop that Bo Dallas gets when he comes back.
I think he comes out as Uncle Howdy.
Hey, he'd probably be Uncle Howdy. He'd probably be Bo Dallas, but he'll probably be like a rendition of the Fiend or rendition of Bray Wyatt or some sort. He might come out as a biker guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the pop he will get when he comes back will be astronomical. It'll be the Warrior pop.
I'm getting chills thinking of the crowd singing "Whole World in His Hands" at the Hall of Fame. Like that's the tribute they did to him on SmackDown was great. And the chair and the light, they did it very well, and the crowd understood the assignment, all that kind of stuff. It's still crazy to think that he's gone.
Yeah, but hell of a worker,
man. Well, that 40 minutes flew by fast.
It did fly by fast.
I think that's a good stopping point for episode number 1. Hopefully, people enjoy us rambling about wrestling.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, brother.
We will put up another episode here soon as we're on the road to WrestleMania. Plenty of things to talk about. But thanks for listening to the TH and TC podcast.
The experience.